afternoon, everyone. And let me be the first to officially say, welcome to a new era of the arts at Dartmouth. We're so pleased to share this moment with many leaders in our community whose support has made this day possible. Our Board of Trustee members and members of the Hopkins Center Advisory Board, both past and present. Our honored guests, Mindy Kaling, class of '01. My predecessor, former President Phil Hanlon and his wife, Gail Gentes, and our former First Lady, Susan Wright, who have all been incredible supporters of this project and the arts at Dartmouth. Key champions who believed in this project like the Morris family, the Hodgson family, and the Blackburns. Our many contributors, faculty advisors, and all those who lifted up this project through their time, labor, and gifts. And I'll speak to it in a moment, Daryl and Steve Roth, without whose extraordinary support and generosity we would not be here today. "63 years ago, as the Hop opened, then President Dickey said the following: "Our college takes its significance from the strength of its parts when they are bound together with an overarching sense of purpose. If we have been right in our aspirations here, the thanks for this facility will go on not for 10 days or 10 years, but I'll wager upwards of 100 years from now, scholars and students will be saying thank you." Those words were prophetic. For 6 decades, the Hop has been our cultural home. It has hosted performances whose impact has been felt all over the world, sent forth brilliant artists like Mindy, and changed the life of every student who sets foot inside the walls. Over those 60 years, we've grown from one single building to an entire arts district with unlimited possibilities. Today, as we dedicate the Daryl and Steve Roth wing, the gateway to our reimagined art district, we are making the heart and soul of Dartmouth more alive, more accessible, and more resonant than it has ever been. We are living through a deeply polarized time when it can be difficult to understand others' perspectives, engage across lines of difference, and find the common need to solve pressing issues. What makes Dartmouth unique is our ability to empower students with those same skills, bringing together the best and brightest from all backgrounds, teaching them how to lead and learn together with empathy, common understanding, and well-rounded aspirations. Right here, we will see that mission in action. Our students will use these flexible spaces to experiment and tell stories in entirely new ways. Our faculty will have room to create, research, and drive excellence. International visitors and acclaimed artists will create alongside us and bring their own perspectives, using art as a focal point to talk about how we see the world, find connection, and common ground. Above all, these spaces will be laboratories of leadership, where our young people learn what it truly means to be part of something bigger than yourself. Whether it's playing a fanfare together like the Dartmouth Wind Ensemble, or the high wire act of live improv, or scrambling together with your castmates in those final moments before a show. This wing is only possible because of a truly historic campaign, more than $100 million raised through Call to Lead. As we acknowledge everyone who played a role, I want again to give a special thanks to Daryl and Steve Roth. Daryl and Steve, you stepped up for this community and the broader world in myriad ways in the 60 years since Steve's graduation. When I first had breakfast with them in my early years as president, we talked about our shared commitment to the idea of a new gateway to the arts district, bold but inviting, welcome, and central. They admired the sonetta design and offered to help. And they put forth, as we announced at Lincoln Center in late 2024, the single largest gift to the Arts District in Dartmouth history, a $30 million commitment to propel us forward and help us finish the job. They have used their lifetime of experience at the top of their fields, Daryl on Broadway in creative pursuits and championing young, new artists, Steve in building with purpose and effect to make this transcendent space a reality. Daryl and Steve, we are deeply moved and inspired by your commitment, by your leadership. Thank you. As I said earlier, this wing will directly support Dartmouth's mission to prepare and support brave and bold creative leaders. I now have the great pleasure of introducing one who blazed her own trail just a few years ago. Mindy Kaling has the distinction of being one of our most distinguished and funniest alumni. She's an award-winning writer, actress, and producer, and we couldn't be more proud to say she got her start right here as a theater major from the class of 2001, who knew every inch of the Hop and called the Bentley Theater her favorite place. When Dartmouth announced the campaign to revitalize the Hop, she was quite literally one of the first to step up and pledge her very generous support and has been deeply involved in helping us think through what a modern space looks like. Mindy, we're so grateful for your support and leadership, and it's my great pleasure to invite up the namesake of our brand new Mindy Kaling Theater Lab. Mindy Kaling.
Hi everyone, I am so happy to be back, and it's wonderful to be here back at Dartmouth, reopening the Hopkins Center and dedicating the extraordinary Roth wing. The Roth family, you've done incredible things for this country, and now to do this here is just amazing. And also including the Mindy Kaling Theater Lab, which honestly still feels insane to say out loud. When I first arrived here as a freshman in 1997, I was this loud, nerdy Indian kid from suburban Boston, was friendly and chatty and completely confident that I was destined for greatness, despite having nothing to back that up, except an encyclopedic knowledge of Saturday Night Live. I had all of the enthusiasm and none of the focus. And then I came to Dartmouth. And this is where I found the focus. I found the Hopkins Center. It was here that I discovered my people, my a cappella group, the Rockapellas, where I met my closest friends to this day, my beloved improv troupe, the Dog Day Players, and they're all here, and the drama department, where I learned to write for the stage. Suddenly, I was surrounded by people who thought staying up until 2 a.m. rewriting a sketch was a perfectly normal way to spend a Thursday night. I discovered things that I loved, like modern British drama, which took me to London for my foreign study program. In this building, I took a playwriting course with August Wilson, who told me that I talk too fast, which, fair. And I learned so much from him. Imagine being told by a Pulitzer Prize winner that you're exhausting. I also discovered things that I didn't love, like technical production, where I had to learn how to operate a light board for course credit. To this day, I am not allowed anywhere near a control room on any space on campus, not even the theater lab with my name on it, which is kind of uncool, I'll say. The drama department was the center of everything for me. My best friends, my enemies, my unrequited crushes, and sometimes that was all just one person. They don't call it the drama department for nothing. I have slept in this building, I've eaten every meal here, I've cried in every bathroom stall. Actually, that's what they should have put my name on, the Mindy Kaling bathroom stall for crying. But this place was everything to me. I was here more than my classrooms, my dorm, and the dining hall. And it was also where I rebelled. I wasn't the kind of student who went to frat row for tales on a Wednesday night and passed out on a lawn. I didn't need to. I had my own rebellion built into theater. Once I stole, the keys to the Bentley Theater, and without permission, I put on an 11 p.m. sketch show for a packed audience. When Professor James Lowland found out, he didn't even kick us out. He just gave me a stern talking to, which, coming from the kindest theater professor alive, was actually terrifying. But I had made a kind of cool, kind of dangerous gesture for the sake of art. Sure, it's not like I cut my ear off like Van Gogh or anything, but I could have definitely been put on probation. which for a nerdy Indian girl would have been way worse than cutting off my ear. What I loved about the Hop was that it gave me opportunities to succeed, but it also gave me something more valuable, training in professional competition. I was lucky to get into my favorite performing arts groups as a freshman, but there was also long stretches of time when all I did was audition for main stage productions and not get cast. That experience, working hard, hoping for the best, and failing, that was the most useful training I ever got. Because let's face it, theater and comedy are more than art, they're competition. I've had professional setbacks that you wouldn't believe, pilots that didn't work, movies that fell through, the Mindy Project getting canceled by Fox before coming back on Hulu, but I got my first taste of creative rejection and validation right here in this very building. Like most of us, I've learned everything from my failures and almost nothing from my successes, and that started here. Even now, when I get to come back and do this very surreal victory lap, like, hey, my name's literally on a room here, I know it was those early failures, those quiet moments of disappointment that taught me how to get back up. It's so important to have a place to try things and to get better. So you can say, maybe next time, maybe they'll choose me. That belief, stubborn, slightly delusional, wonderfully naive, is the engine that drives every artist. So when Bob Lasher called me 6 or 7 years ago and asked me if I'd like to spend a pretty large sum of money on this, I didn't hesitate. Well, I guess I did hesitate for a couple days because, again, large sum of money. But I did this, and I am so glad I did. This theater lab means a lot to me. Not just because of my own memories here, but because of what it represents. As a person from an underrepresented group, I'm not ashamed to admit that I am obsessed with legacy, physical legacy, and what it means for students to see women of color succeeding and contributing out in the world. And honestly, I can't wait to go back to my home in Los Angeles and think about what's happening in the Mindy Kaling Theater Lab on some random Tuesday night. A young playwright nervously workshopping a one-act, a group of actors rehearsing a Sondheim revival, or 10 dysfunctional improvisers fighting because 2 are secretly hooking up and the rest are late because they're hungover. When I was here, I didn't know what my future would look like. I just knew that I loved performing and writing and being around people who cared as much as I did, and that I would die if I couldn't do it forever. And that dramatic, nerdy love carried me through The Office, The Mindy Project, Never Have I Ever, The Sex Lives of College Girls, and Running Point. Every time I start something new, I still hear the little voice from the Hop saying, why not me? So thank you, Dartmouth, for giving me a home, which I needed and when I needed it most. Thank you to my friends, President Beilock, Laurel Ritchie, and Bob Lasher, the boards of trustees, and oh my goodness, Daryl and Stephen Roth for paying for all of this. Thank you to the Hop and to the drama department for giving me this chance to fail, to try again, and to dream big. I'm so proud to put my name on the Theater Lab, and even more excited to see the names of the students, the shows, and the stories that will fill this space for years to come. Thank you.
Wow, hello everyone. And thank you, Mindy, for giving me an impossible act to follow. Put me right after the professional actor, of course. My name is Fure, and I'm an associate professor of music and director of Dartmouth's brand new MFA in sonic practice. It is my honor to speak on behalf of the faculty at this historic moment in the evolution of the arts at Dartmouth. I stand here humbly before my colleagues because so many of them spent countless, thankless hours on committees and councils trying to give voice to a vision for how this grand new vessel could serve our students, shift our culture, and stretch the horizon of what is pedagogically possible on this campus. As artists and teachers, we know that space is never neutral. It carries subterranean codes, deeply seated value systems that infuse and constrain what can be thought, felt, or brought forth inside. The composer Richard Wagner knew this well. When he designed his famous opera house at Bayreuth, the architectural site that would house his grandest artistic visions, he rewrote the social codes of classical music. See, in Wagner's day, operas were very rowdy affairs. They happened in gilded, horseshoe-shaped theaters where boisterous crowds would gawk at each other way more than they would look at the singers on stage. So Wagner did away with that horseshoe shape and its multiple tiers and put the entire audience in a single plane of seats that faced frontal towards a massive stage. He made the orchestra invisible, plunged them in a recessed pit so as not to block the sight lines to the drama, and he lowered the house lights into total darkness so the audience couldn't get up and mill about. These choices, radical at the time, encoded a worldview into the walls. Quiet the masses, still the body, center the genius, homogenize the vantage point, lock it to script, bind it to notation, spare no expense. I share this story to remind us that spaces impact art, and art expresses worldviews, and this is a building whose flexible power compels us to imagine our worlds anew. As arts faculty, we know the new Hop is not a cruise ship, it's a crucible. It's not eye candy, though it is beautiful, but it's a jet engine, a place where culture can be forged and launched into the world to change it. A place that can uplift living artists who are rising to meet and metabolize this moment that all of us are trembling through in our own ways. But we have to rise to meet this building. We have to shift our consciousness as an institution away from an idea that art is here to decorate the status quo, to ornament the social order as it is. Boldness, courage, an appetite for risk, a willingness to listen, an openness to growth, these are the traits that will help us transform this shiny new structure into a heat source, into an organ pumping warm blood, oxygen, and life force through the student body and beyond. The faculty are your partners in this mission. Support us and you support the students. Trust us and together we can fly this jet engine straight into the unborn worlds ahead. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Mary Lou Aleskie, the Executive Director of the Hopkins Center for the Arts. It is such an honor to be here with you today. I actually have two jobs, so you're stuck with me just a little longer than you have been with the others. But our congressional leaders are a little busy in Washington, and though they've been invited to come and wanted to come, they were not able to be with us. But I do have words from both Senators Shaheen and Hassan, and they asked that I kindly read pieces of those letters to you today. From Senator Shaheen, art has the capacity to challenge us. It can emphasize the importance of engaging and listening to people from all walks of life. It can give us the opportunity to imagine another's point of view, to learn from history and others' experiences, to see beyond your own way of thinking. The Hopkins Center for the Arts provides many opportunities throughout the school year for creative expression and thoughtful reflection. And it remains vital to building cohesive communities where all people feel empowered to step forward, share their stories, and find pieces of themselves in others. Thank you for playing such a positive, unifying role to the Upper Valley community. That's Senator Shaheen. From Senator Hassan, I'm truly pleased you're having today's celebration and dedication. Throughout our country's history, Americans of all ages have used the arts to help build and strengthen communities, connect us to our histories, and convey important messages. The Hopkins Center for the Arts provides a platform for future artists, musicians, dancers, actors, directors, technicians, and storytellers to build on that history and share their vision. Thank you to everyone who has made this celebration possible. I look forward to continuing to work together to support New Hampshire artists. Needless to say, we appreciate their support of the arts and humanities and all the advocacy on behalf of Dartmouth and New Hampshire in DC. So thank you for those words. So now my reflections. I wanted to start with a brief poem, and it's from a poet who I think many artists reflect upon as a creative clarity and inspiration, Renee Marie Rilke. It is, go to the limits of your longing. God speaks to each of us as he makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. You sent out beyond your recall, go to the limits of your longing, embody me. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. The hop calls out, give me your hand to all, inviting us freely, share our imagination and talents in the hope of finding ourselves in communities and ultimately fulfilling society's greatest potential through a culture of collaboration and the arts. This is the place where givers and observers are much the same. Whether you enter as a creator, an observer, or just a lover of light and space, this place of welcome ignites our creative energies in every way possible. It connects us to each other, and that energy cannot be contained, not in a building, not in a district, not even just in ourselves. It boldly influences all around us. This arts center, that is at the same time a center of community life, is uniquely Dartmouth, yet its purpose is in service to the world. Today, we welcome a reimagined hop to its new life and dedicate the magnificent Roth wing. We are filled with joy for the promise of a future where a lifetime of learning, infused by creative expression of all kinds, giving us the tools we need to navigate complexity with courage and trust. At the HOP's 1962 dedication, Nelson Rockefeller, class of 30, called it a sign of great public awakening in America to the arts and to the enrichment of human life through the arts. As one of the first major arts centers for performance and visual arts on a university campus, we continue to have a unique purpose as a community resource, academic center, and a place of creation for students, faculty, as well as world-renowned visiting artists. Over these 63 years, people have come here to learn, experience, and create from all corners of the globe. The movers and shakers of the mid-20th century arts and entertainment gathered at that time to celebrate the opening and imagine the impact the HOP might have on the future. Among them was renowned French composer Daryl. Having fled occupied France, he found kinship and creativity at Dartmouth, teaching here not long after his arrival in 1947, and later returning to offer the first fanfare that we launched the program with today. At the time, he would have encountered Leonard Bernstein, Aaron Copland, Igor Stravinsky, Hume Cronin, Jessica Tandy, and many more, just a few names that we all remember. Today, we herald in a new era, thanks to the generosity of our day's leaders. Assembled here are those leaders of today. And this project you have all made possible. The occasion inspired us to dust off those heraldic horns, for a new flourish from composer James Stevenson, an accomplished composer and student of another class of 57 member Eric Kunzel. In closing, I extend my personal gratitude to all who made this expanded platform for the arts possible, and especially to the Roths, who gave not only generously, but gave generously of their wisdom and their passion. To President Beilock, who advances the arts in an ongoing way so that it can stay central to our life. This project stands on the shoulders of many who worked tirelessly over the years to realize a new way forward for the Hopkins Center. In particular, I want to thank the Hopkins Center Board of Advisors, past and present, and current chair, Laurel Ritchie, who has been a steadfast leader and saw no other direction but forward. And this, after chairing being the HOPS Board of Trustee Liaison, chairing the Board of Directors, and co-chairing the Call to Lead campaign. That's tireless. And I want to thank the immediate past chairs, Caroline Harrison and Hans Morris, with whom I was so grateful to serve and come to work with at this institution. And now we have so much to be thankful for to the both of you. I also would like to thank senior leadership over these past years who've been key allies and partners. President Hanlon, thank you. Former Provost Dave Coates, thank you. Barbara Will, thank you. Samuel Levy, thank you. Josh Keniston, thank you. And as Ash said, all of the faculty and all of the staff that worked tirelessly to get us to this point, thank you. Lastly, to our students and the local community, your passion for the arts and our life together in this place are at the heart of this celebration. We live here together. We exist here together. We are celebrating together. And when we're talking about staff, I have to call out the Hopkins Center staff, who not only worked tirelessly over the time that we were in construction, making sure that our programs continued, packing and unpacking trucks, going to 38 different venues to do that, but also helped make today a realization. And we particularly remember Todd Campbell, our senior production manager, whose technical expertise is in every aspect of this building, and we carry him in our hearts. So today, we throw open the doors and thank all of you and cry confidently, give me your hand. Thank you for responding. Thank you for being part of this journey. And now let's welcome the Dartmouth Aires.
How can we be silent and remember the splendor and the fullness of her days? Who can forget her soft September sunsets? Who can forget those hours that pass like trees? The long, cool shadows floating on the campus, the drifting beauty where the twilight streams. Who can forget her sharp and misty mornings, the clanging bells, the crunch of feet on snow, her sparkling noons, the crowding into commons, the long white afternoons, the twilight glow. See, by the light of many thousand sunsets, Dartmouth undying, like a vision stars. Dartmouth, the gleaming, dreaming walls of Dartmouth, miraculously builded in our hearts. Miraculously builded in our hearts.
Good afternoon. My name is Liz Lempres, class of '83, and I have the privilege of serving as chair of the Dartmouth Board of Trustees. Go Trustees! And it's my pleasure to speak on behalf of the board on this very, very happy day. The Hop has literally and figuratively been the central of this campus to every Dartmouth student since it opened in 1962. It's where future giants of the screen and stage, writers, the greatest of their generation, honed their skills, many of whom are here today. It's where many more students who love the community of the arts came to find their people. And it's a place that for me personified the liberal arts, which is why I came to Dartmouth. It's where an engineering major like myself could learn set design in Drama 1 and learn about folklore around the world and folk music that expressed it in Music 2. Both of which brought me to the Hop, not just to check my HB 4 times a day, or to make my daily run to the snack bar at the Hop, but to come to the classroom and to learn about a part of the liberal arts that I wouldn't have had exposure to had I gone to a traditional engineering school. So today's Dartmouth students do not know the pleasure of a Hinman box, but they do get world-class rehearsal space, practice space, performance facilities, in addition to the snack bar, which will remain an incredibly cool social space looking over the green with an amazing veranda, and I am told a barista. And the Upper Valley community now has an arts center that is truly stands on its own in any place in northern New England. There's already been a lot of gratitude expressed today, which is appropriate, but I'm going to add a few more. One more name on that list that hasn't been mentioned is Trustee Emeriti Rick Lewis. Rick has done extraordinary work for the board on the HOP and on every major facility that the board has been involved with over the last decade as former chair of our facilities committee and former co-chair of our resources committee. So thank you, Rick, and welcome back to Hanover. And of course, I'd like to add the board's thanks to Steve and Daryl Roth, a true power couple that dazzle us in everything they do. Steve, I understand that serendipity struck when an assistant principal at your Bronx high school happened to mention that Dartmouth was a good school. As a result of that, you decided to apply to 2 schools instead of 1, Dartmouth and City College. It's our very, very good fortune that you chose to come to Hanover, beginning a family tradition that now spans 3 generations. Thank you. But the list of those to whom we owe thanks does not end there. It takes literally hundreds of people with deep technical expertise in planning and construction to bring a project of this scale and this magnificence to life. But don't worry, I'm not going to thank them all individually. I would, though, like to thank a few organizations and individuals. First, the town of Hanover for their partnership, to Chad Morig, Dartmouth's project manager, and the entire Dartmouth project management and facilities team. Our extraordinary architectural partners at Snowhetta and Jacob Higginbottom and the Page team. Our construction and engineering partners, Joe Solway and the Air Up team, and Todd McCabe, Ryan Mellon, and the entire team at Consigli. Thank you. And finally, thank you to everyone here today, donors, students, staffs, families, supporters, and friends of the HOP. We deeply appreciate your support in taking the HOP and the Arts District to previously unimaginable heights. Thank you very much. And now it is my great honor to formally accept the Hopkins Center for the Arts and the Daryl and Stephen Roth Wing on behalf of Dartmouth College. So please join us now. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure of seeing what's inside this beautiful building, there is going to be an open house, and there's also going to be a community-wide celebration of the arts at Dartmouth tomorrow at noon on the green. We hope you can join us there as well. Thank you so much for coming.
house.